Well, hello everybody. It's Principal Troy Cody along with our instructional coach, Aaron Sinner. We are here in our continued conversation with parents and families about our evidence-based reporting. And so our goal through these communications is, what would you say, Aaron, is our goal through our communication with parents and families?
Our goal is and always has been to open communication and to showcase what it is we're doing at Fargo Public Schools and Davies High School in this grading shift and change so that you all are aware of what this means and looks like for your students.
So again, this is our fourth session. I'd like to welcome you. Really, we're calling this one EBR in Actions. You are going to see some interviews with teachers and students where we would call EBR in action. So a couple quick things that we want to do is let's just define and describe when you hear professional terms, as we were talking about earlier, is that in the teaching profession we have these acronyms. And so when we hear the term EBR, that stands for
evidence-based reporting.
So evidence-based reporting would be the shift from a general traditional point system into the system that we are going to use to report students' grades out. And so when you hear the term EBR, it is that shift from our traditional point system where we're dropping points into a bucket to this concept of where we gather and collect student evidence against a given set of standards over a period of time. And teachers collect that evidence. You've heard terms similar to practice, scrimmage, and games, and you can go back to previous sessions to kind of better understand some of those terms. And then the other term that we have used quite frequently is the term PLC. So what would you define as a PLC?
The acronym stands for Professional Learning Community, and this is a group of teachers who all are a part of the same course, meaning all English 1 teachers teach that same course together, but they work together as a team in a community to determine the best approach to curriculum, the best approach to student learning, and they meet on a weekly basis for pretty much every single course, sometimes in the building and sometimes across the district, and that's what that term means when you hear that used.
Yeah, and so really one of the shifts that is happening using EBR, evidence-based reporting, is it's really allowing our teachers to collaborate around topics as, like Aaron said, as assessments and calibrating grading. So whether your child is in classroom A with teacher A or in classroom B with teacher B, that they are seeing the same material. The assessments are common. You'll hear the term common assessments. And then our teachers are calibrating the grades so that there's no inconsistency and that they're looking at through the general lens from each of those learning communities. So as always, we would certainly hope and trust that you learn a little bit more from today's lesson and session. And certainly, Aaron, we encourage our parents that have questions or whether they just need a deeper understanding of what this looks like and how it applies to your student. As we know, Fargo Public, the fall of 2025, the goal is that all grades 6 through 12 are using and implementing evidence-based reporting.
Exactly. So we hope you enjoy this EBR in action video in which you can see what this actually looks like in our building.
All right, take care.
Yeah, I'd say the thing that I like most about it is the stress that teachers put on preparation for tests. You know, it works on a system where it's, practice, scrimmage, game. So having that little practice on one day and then the next day having a scrimmage and both those not being graded kind of helps a lot with the actual game assessment, knowing that you'll go into it 100% prepared. So
I feel like I've gotten the third year of doing EBR, I feel like I've added, in my mind, clarity to the students of what I'm looking for. I feel the students can never claim there's a hidden way of grading or agenda. They get more, I feel like more, not necessarily visuals, but it's more eyes wide open of how they're going to be graded.
I like that it has made me look at all my assessments and just kind of reassess where I'm at as a teacher and try to be really specific and purposeful in what we're asking students to do. I like that we've gotten away from like just the regurgitation of facts and we're having kids actually do things. Specifically as a science teacher, they're digging in and getting their hands dirty and doing a lot of data analysis and just developing those skills that they're actually going to use in the real world someday, hopefully as little scientists.
Especially in English, like you look at a paper and you're like, oh, like how can you grade that out of 100, you know? I feel like it's easier to do like on a proficiency scale for that kind of stuff.
I just like that a lot of it is you're using your words to give answers and you can better explain yourself rather than just circling A through D. So it's, I feel like it's a better way to explain your knowledge.
I'm a senior here at Davies, so I came in and it was based on a 100-point grading system, and now almost all my classes are based on EBR. And what's definitely helped the most is the rubrics, because in a class, if let's say we're doing a project, a teacher will hand you a rubric and say, this is the instructions, this is what I want you to do, and this is how you're proficient at it. And if you meet all those requirements, I mean, you get a good grade, which I feel like that also kind of connects to the real world. From what I've heard from my parents and whatnot, in that, you know, at a job, they're not just gonna like throw you into something. They're definitely gonna give you some preparations, and you're gonna figure out a plan on how to get it done. So.
Okay, so I like EBR in like a science and an English class setting because it helps you to kind of target exactly what you're supposed to learn and know. But the classes I have it in, like AP Lit and physics, it's nice because when you kind of get a certain score, it helps target like what skills you might not know or you do know.
You can like explain yourself more and really like if you're in a multiple choice test and there's some questions and you're like, well, it could be A or it could be B. With EBR, you can really explain your answers in your own words and prove to your teachers that you know what you're talking about by using your own words. If I have a rubric where it has like the rubrics, and I'll make sure that I go through and have everything on there, especially like when I'm writing a paper for English. And I think that helps so I can see like, oh, if I do all this and it's good, I should be able to get a 3 and be proficient, even work towards that 4.
I think the biggest thing parents need to know is that number one, that grade is in progress. So when you check Power School and you see like their projected grade as a C or something, it's not the end all be all and that's where they sit. But then making sure you're having those conversations and asking like, did you talk to your teacher? Do you have a redo attempt? Like, are you keeping up with your working class and doing everything that you need to do in order to be successful? And then just supporting students if they're not proficient and knowing sometimes that's okay, because the goal is to get there by the end of the semester, and that's why everything kind of circles back and you have more attempts and you can keep trying, which is good.
Ask, email, call, talk to us teachers, and if we can't explain it well, let us know.
We recognize that change can often be hard for all stakeholders, and it isn't always seamlessly done. But we'd like to assure you that evidence-based reporting is a research-driven grading reform that's happening in all areas around the country in various educational institutions. In switching to evidence-based reporting, Fargo Public Schools is doing the utmost to educate and empower all our students to succeed. In order to uphold our values that all students can learn and grow, we need to alter some of the traditional ways we've measured learning. When we know better, we do better.